It's a long way away from where they are right now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think they just finished their mid-Atlantic Ridge cruise.
It's funny, we built this new website feature. Ocean Exploration Trust, Schmidt Ocean Institute, and NOAA Ocean Exploration collaborated on an education website that's brand new. And one of the features that we built into it was a calendar of all the vessels and where they are and when they're streaming, those three, and which is something that I've always had a hard time tracking down. And so I'm now like, let me go to my education website and check out where the ships are, which helps me out.
Yeah, that sounds like a great resource.
It looks like they've got Blake Plateau mapping starting. Oops, closed it on.
Okay, we are close to 4.
August 15th.
Okay.
I want to...
You want to stop the ship here and let this...
We're close to waypoint 2 right now, actually, which is...
Yeah, we can stop the ship and let it kind of settle out.
Speed is...
Yeah, so from last night's survey, waypoint.
Yeah.
Have to look at the slip patch, see how wide of an area they ruptured, but these things, it could be a main shack, could be a precursor. It's hard to know. More research and study in Alaska needed.
We have gotten a lot of requests to go up there. Unfortunately, I'm not sure, like with the dynamic positioning system that we emailed us to let us know about that, because we were doing a shallow dive that day and there were tsunami warnings, which I understand were canceled, but they were alerting us that we might have some like strong currents due to that. But I don't think we noticed anything.
I looked at some of the just tsunami watch along the BC coast, and it was like 0.1, 0.7 of a foot, they just noticed a little itty bitty wave coming through. It's a proper big earthquake, though.
Yeah, largest earthquake in the U.S. in 50 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, it's big. Yeah. 8.1.
8.1?
Wow.
Yeah.
Thrust on the subduction zone. Yeah. Thrust fault.
Pretty shallow, right?
Let's go explore up there.
There is a lot of interest in exploring up there from
on the plate interface
nationally.
Probably.
I used to love it, and now it kind of stresses me out all the time. I'm just kind of wanting to get out of there. I like to finish the dive and get everything back in one piece. So there's sometimes, but for the most part, yeah, something more technical.
Is Endeavour something you don't like now because of the challenges for the vehicle, or are you like worried about knocking over a giant black smoker?
Well, it's not just flying around there. I guess it's the Ocean Networks Canada operations too, right? So it's a lot of gear going around and stuff, and the older I get, I just...
sense of accomplishment, though. You guys do so much. Observatory nodes work fully functional again and have new instruments, and that's kind of neat.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to be a part of it for sure. But yeah, they're pretty intense cruises, and they get more and more so because they're doing more all the time, right?
Yeah, and is it also many shorter dive where you just go up and down, do a lot?
No, not typically.
Not so much.
So short. I'd say they probably average 10 hours, maybe 10, 12 hours or something.
They're pretty deep, so
yeah.
And
you guys put a lot in from the surface, like off, not on the vehicle.
That's right. They do things to
winch.
try and keep the vehicles in there, right?
Yeah.
And usually Tamara, the sub, is like loaded up as much as they can get it. So we might go through 3 or 4 different like evolutions of things to do.
Yeah, it's like 2,100 to 2,300 meters average.
Yeah.
But the up and down ones, that's more like the Saanich Inlet.
That's right, yeah.
And stuff.
And those are shallow, right?
Shallow, it's a lot of sitting and waiting for
Wait for the
visibility.
tide, yeah.
Which I don't think, I think that might be the one bit of ONC with Nautilus that I missed. There was a year where we did the inshore stuff, which
The
is...
topside photos of that were spectacular. It's in fjords and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of my favorite photos. It looks like we're just like setting Hercules in the forest. You know, it's this super steep cliff and the ship is like edged right up to this just like big green forest, and off goes Hercules to frolic in the forest.
Wouldn't know what to watch. Do you know, sit on deck and have to have the screen up to watch it? You can enjoy both.
The observatory is pretty amazing. The planning that goes in, you know, I don't remember exactly what instrument, but we plugged one in 1 year, and it was like 4 years of this researcher trying to get this,
110.
you know, down, and just plugged it in, started streaming data right away.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
150 meters at 119.
Or like Wally, where we're waiting for the colleagues in Germany to confirm Wally's there. Talking to them.
We are now at 100 meters, 110 meters from waypoint 4.
Roger.
I see all these fish. Now I really have to wonder why I'm so bad at fishing. They're right there.
Right there at 150 meters.
Okay, I need a long line.
There's some
They're
mat.
they're in the water column. Oh.
Randy, you're muted.
Do you have some bubbles?
It looked like it, and then it just
Maybe?
disappeared. But it was
Okay.
pretty constant for a while. Something like that, but it was pretty constant.
Hard ground real estate is sparse here.
Mm-hmm.
Property values must be high. Okay. Some rubble, rock. So Mike, what do you, with being an ROV pilot, do you like the exploration, just cruising around looking for cool stuff, or the more technical, you have
Hey, look at that. You guys are missing it. They're all bacterial mats.
I'm not missing it.
Sorry, I was getting very excited. Something different.
Where are the bubbles?
And shells.
Yeah.
Very cool. We can't stop really. But we can mark it.
Can you
Mark it.
put the target?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, to answer your question, Jeff,
Yeah.
I think I prefer like the more technical.
Longer. I feel like I've typed in CPen more frequently for this dive.
Don't you mean Sean Penn?
Yeah, I mean Sean Penn. It's the morning. I think that's contributing to my spelling mistakes. You can't really get away. When you say scientific names, if you say it with confidence, then people will believe you're saying it correctly. But you can't really spell scientific names with confidence, because then you're just wrong.
That's our first lingcod, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Those fish look like they're just going with us.
Yeah.
They're coming with us. going over the high spot. And this is not
we don't really
not
see
a whole lot.
I know our map's right, but
I was hoping for some exposed rocks
Yeah,
here,
me
not
too.
all covered
Do you-
by sediments.
do you happen to have the backscatter that we could pull up?
Yeah, let me take a look.
Yeah, I legitimately just typed into observations, flat seafloor.
Yeah, so backscatter, it's a little...
Not really that
dark.
exciting, huh? We went over the exciting part, and that we did see that. The
Yeah, we did see that.
little terrace
Yeah. There's some
rocks or whatever.
kind of higher backscatter lineaments.
And then there's definitely something interesting in the backscatter along that line of seeps. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very modeled.
I think that might be the nadir effect.
Oh, is that the nadir?
They may have gone right over. I don't know
Which-
where the
Oh.
nadir was. What line? I didn't see this morning what the line.
I didn't see either.
But it kind of looks offset from if that was.
Hmm.
No, maybe we did 2 lines up and down. But there's some high backscatter kind of streaks that are probably just the like kind of ledges.
Yeah.
About 400 meters now, we're cruising. Not exactly sure how the first humans migrated through North America. There's been a long thought that they went east, like in Washington, Canada, and then came down around a lowland. But there's competing or complementary theory that the first people moved along the shoreline on this side, down the coast, where in front of the ice sheet, where this was all exposed, and that there would have been a lot of fish, there would have been a lot of food, that it was a more easier route to get south in the continent. And there's some people doing work looking for submerged caves and submerged things for, maybe this boat may have done some of that work at some point.
We may have done some of that work. We did about 3 years on those.
Yeah, I know. I know the project. That survey is burned into the multi-beam grid as a very nice grid pattern in our available multi-beam. You can always point it out really well on the map because it's like a search pattern. Down by Oregon.
A couple of different, that one.
Oh, down by Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, that was with a professor at Oregon State, right?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name.
Lauren.
Yes. Yeah, I think we did a lot of sub-bottom. It was primarily a sub-bottom expedition. It was a very odd Nautilus cruise. I don't think we did very many dives.
I remember they looked like this.
So with marine archaeology, it's hit or miss. Go look, you do a lot of searching, and then you hope you find something. And if you do, it pays off really big.
Lauren Davis. Dr. Lauren Davis, Oregon State University.
Oh, you were on that cruise, Megan.
I was. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I was like, his name is Lauren.
Would have potentially gone back down
subsided.
into the, subsided.
Yeah. And we're kind of still dealing with those effects now because it takes a long time for the crust in the mantle that
I was thinking
gets
it's very
depressed.
plastic and
Very plastic and slow.
yeah, we were talking about hiking earlier, and some of my favorite things to do while hiking in regions like this or New England is to look for glacial landscapes or, marks on rocks and things like that. I think that's pretty cool. Like in Acadia National Park, you can find sea stacks inland, so.
San Juan Island has like a perfect paleo shoreline, like almost right angle, like shelf step down off of one of the like high points of the island where you can go hiking.
Do they have any caves in those, or?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, there's this big sweeping like driftwood beach, and if you turn around and just
That extended out and sometimes out into what is now underwater in the coastline.
So there's still areas on the north of here that are experiencing isostatic rebound, like the Earth is coming up.
Right.
Yep.
As you remove all that weight, it responds with the kind of rising. It's kind of like have it pushing down on a pillow, and you take your hand away and it starts to rebound and come back.
And so what you think might have happened here is that this was at the outer edge, so it was actually forced up at some point above.
Thank you.
How's the DP looking up there, Jeff? Is it taxed at all?
Something is pegged there, isn't it?
Seeing 30% on the thruster.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
What's the bottom part of that cross? The yellow part? Yeah.
Isn't it that number is the...
Oh yeah, but the down part of the cross, what is that?
I don't know. I'm seeing on this is 40
so that's
on the bow thruster.
Stern?
Stern, yeah.
I'll have to keep an eye. I'm not sure that one changes, the one Mike was pointing at.
No, I don't think it does either. That's not effort in any...
I
No.
only see this one change and then that.
Jeff, the people want to know, were these bedding planes above the water at some point?
Possibly, yeah. I think so. Or at least very close. 150 meters is deeper than the sea level low globally, kind of the average. But this area has undergone a lot of local vertical movement based on the ice sheets. So it's possible that this was subaerial at one point. We're kind of right on that threshold.
Subaerial is like the goofiest science word to me.
Subaerial.
Meaning in the air.
Yeah, help us out.
On an orbit, it looks, no, it's actually swimming away.
Or it could
I
be
think you saw something?
Yeah, I think it was like sort of static and then it sort of moved just a little.
Or it could be like
There's a big rock or a hard bit ahead.
Hard bit, yeah.
the Green Bay Packers during training, summer training camp. Kids will show up outside the facility with their bikes so the players can ride them to and from the locker room and everything. So it's like a big thing, huge deal.
On a rock, just...
So maybe people will show up at the
bit more
dock.
slope.
We can take their bikes for a ride. Bring them back.
Yeah, thanks to the viewers writing in. We have sent the video alert to shore. Understand that the feeds are dropping. We'll work on getting that resolved.
Megan, I just realized I totally forgot about the bike folder. I have not been using it. Did anybody put anything in there?
There are some images in there,
Okay, I had to contribute and download.
Yeah, I put mine in there.
See, Tammy's on it.
Yeah.
That's one of my things I owe you today, Nicole, is the link to the topside photo share for this cruise too.
Great idea.
Yeah. Get everyone's best pictures of the fog. It's so beautiful and hard to take photos of.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with the wind. Yeah. I just don't know if I believe it.
Yeah, it's all over the place, isn't it?
I'm waiting till we settle out again to see, but I mean the weather station matches that that there's a lull and then it came up a bit, so I suppose it could be real. Because there's one way to find out is to leave this box we're all in, go out and actually feel it, huh? It's light but foggy. We were surrounded by seagulls, I believe.
Oh no.
So we have a following of fish under the surface and seagulls up top.
Some indecision between them being yellowtail rockfish and black rockfish.
Their spots are really cool because they kind of glow a bit in our light.
Yeah. So we're in explore mode. We're headed to some waypoint targets that we detected in our mapping and in seismic mapping last month. How far are we from those targets, Jeff? I was going to be like, shout out to whoever's bike shop, Astoria, Oregon, for providing us with our adventures.
Yeah, that was great fun. Astoria is a great place for a day or two. It was a beautiful like boardwalk, and the little downtown is awesome. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the bike shop.
Bikes and Beyond.
That's right. It had moved too, so I split off from the. I got
check them out at their new location. Yeah.
I went to the old one and I knew it was right. I could recognize the building and everything, and it was just completely empty. Oh no, we're not gonna be able to take the bikes.
This is probably the weirdest like advertisement shout out they've ever got.
Just a niche fan club. Yeah.
Now, if only Port Angeles had. Yeah, Hawaii has beautiful hikes. That's for sure.
Volcanoes are awesome.
Rubbly as we climb.
Hiking is such a good thing to do, especially after you're on a ship for a couple of months. It's in so many ways the opposite, right?
So true.
And you can walk and not run into the side of the boat.
Oh, that's right.
Just anything.
Freedom.
Just a hip check, anything.
And it'll be fall for, you know, when we get off. Most people at some point are going to get off. It'll be fall. It's just like great time to hike.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good transition too, because it allows you a bit of solitude or
For sure.
I know.
The quiet, right,
yeah.
compared to the ship is there's always sound, you know.
Yep.
I frequently, when I do my day hikes, I do most of it solo.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it.
Well, and being on a ship here with the same 40 some odd people for however long you're out here, a month or more. And so it is a little bit of a change to go out and be amongst the masses again. Like,
Yes.
True.
To the feeling of like, similar feeling to being on a boat for so many weeks and then getting off in a crowded place.
And their personality, but there's like a tension to still want to be together, and want to be apart.
Pacific Crest.
Not me.
No, I usually do. Max I've done is like 10.
It's a good hike.
I did 2 weeks once.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Randy.
That's a good
Where was it?
It was back home in Indonesia.
Wow.
It's yeah, part of an expedition. So
Wow.
it was a mapping expedition, but also yeah, I was part of the outing club, so I helped the mappers sort of get set up and all that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Just
Yeah, but-
What was
low-key,
the
he
terrain
throws it
like?
in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it was pretty big elevation gain, so it was very steep in the beginning, but it's more like a ridge, almost like the Appalachian Trail, I would say. It's a ridge. Yeah, what's interesting was the logistics. Logistics, we had to like every week had to go down to a certain village and pile up stuff, bring it all the way up. That would take a couple hours, and slowly map
Cool.
area. Yeah.
Just thinking, I think the longest I ever did was only a few days, a couple of days actually. The north of Vancouver Island, I think Cape Scott, I think it's called.
That's probably pretty.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good hike. Yeah, I haven't done any of those real long ones like Randy. There's a couple interested in. But yes, there's a logistic element to that for sure, eh?
Yeah, true. Always want to do the end portion of the Appalachian Trail, the 100-mile wilderness, they say, all the way to Maine. I think it's 100 miles or something, 2 weeks around. But yeah, logistics.
Oh yeah, I've seen photos and some videos. The end of the Appalachian Trail there in the north is very pretty. Like you get up pretty high.
Oh yeah.
That's probably my longest hike was the end. It was Katahdin in Baxter State Park in Maine. So that's just a day hike though. You start at like 4 in the morning and you're done by 4 or 5 in the evening. So I don't know how many miles that is, but it was a good hike, good views, lots of moose.
Yeah, I'm just a day hiker.
Yeah, like Mike said, the logistics of carrying everything and having everything is, I guess, what's kind of kept me from doing more.
Yeah, even for a couple of days, but I'm sure more so for weeks. Like you have to justify every pound in the bag, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I did a few 5 to 7 day things like Central Oregon and Northeast Oregon and also in Norway and Switzerland. So it was quite cool. But somehow I think the difference between like 2, 3 days and 5, 7 days, it's not that big really, because the essentials you have with you anyway, then it's just about the food that you, but we were actually weighing in like how much pasta would we bring per person, like really to the gram, to not have too much. Just like Michael said, you have to like weigh everything or justify every gram.
Yeah.
But I haven't done anything longer than that. Yeah.
I'm like, but I love pasta.
Right.
Even on ours, that was, well, we did, it was two days in and then back out. So, it was, but we still justified room for 2 Tetra packs of wine. Just little 1 liter ones.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can filter water for wine, or you can filter water. You can't make your own wine once you're out there.
No, you need longer than a week.
Yeah, you need about 3.
I had to do it. It's
Roger.
We're about to start going up slope, very gentle up.
Yep, total elevation gain for today, 7 meters.
That's my kind of hike. Nice and flat.
Nice.
yeah, maybe like stroll more than hike. Maybe nice Saturday morning stroll.
And it's taking good pictures. You'll miss a lot if you don't have it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking of turning it off while we were staring at the funnel for like half an hour. Things like this.
1,000 funnel photos.
Now we have plenty of funnels.
No, it's all good. I mean, just you'll have all of them, so you can go back and see every. I don't like that funnel photo. I want the one from 30 seconds before.
Find the best one.
Yeah, but I'm working on finding the best one for you.
I like those the shots we were getting from Argus with Herc looking at the seep.
These are the ones we were looking at just now.
It was shimmering with kind of the Argus light. That kind of really encapsulates the like seep hunt, seep study, seep characterizing. Like it's just staring at it.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah. Those were tough to pick through. I was like, hold still, Argus, because like you just want that like really crisp kind of low light option. I know, yeah, Michael was super excited about these photos. They're being lifted up by so many bubbles.
Well, the carbonate ridge.
Yeah, anytime you look like you're like tucking Herc into like a little garage of rock is like really incredible.
It was really squeezed in this crevasse.
Yeah, processing the photos last night. There
did
are
you?
some beautiful still cam image
Yeah,
or some capture
and
highlights.
also from the ones from Argus. They were taken. Yeah, they were amazing. Seeing Hercules down there. Yeah.
Oh, the winds have come down. That's nice.
Oh, did they?
I'm just checking now. The
Yeah.
winds
Oh,
are
yes.
down to 15 knots.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
That's
that's a good trend.
That's a huge.
Yeah. It is very wet outside. It's a.
Okay, as long as we're in the fog, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Those are like cover of oceanography next year.
Yeah, I threw them into Lightroom and like touched them up. I
of them
can't pull
popped
those
up.
up
That's
here.
fish.
but-
Fish, eh?
Oh, no.
Wow.
I'm not 100%, but I think so.
Oh yeah, they were. I think.
Yeah, they will be going into our presentations also.
Actually, no,
Oh, yeah.
there it looks more like little
Yeah.
rubble.
Ended up with some cool still cam too.
You don't
That-
really get
yeah,
the
it's so
shadow
nice
with
to have
that.
a
You
good
just get
still
like the
cam.
line.
Yeah, that's true.
We might have a good image for a journal when you get the option to. Do you have any imagery that could possibly be the cover art for our?
Oh yeah, I think.
Mhm.
Wow, look
Yeah.
at that.
But,
Wow.
finally,
Well, yes, we might
everyone-
have some. We might have
Yeah.
some nice pictures.
We might.
wow.
We might have some things to share. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's from the still camera, who gets photo credit? Herc?
Credit Herc.
Credit.
It's photo taken by.
It's joint credit usually for OET and OSU, since Andrew basically lends us the camera for the year.
There's just nobody technically behind the lens.
Credit to
other
the
than
intervalometer. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, did you have the camera just firing shots off automatically the whole time? Oh, okay, yeah.
With the way the file's structured.
Time.
And how many kind of like parallel lines are in the array? Like how many lines are you towing?
So this is a single streamer behind the boat. If you're doing a 3D survey, you could have up to 4 streamers behind the boat. But this survey design was for one very long streamer for deep imaging, where if you have 3D and shorter but more streamers, you're looking at a shallower section, but with a 3D volume instead of just a 2D profile.
And where did you survey from? Was it all Oregon or?
We started in southern Oregon and went all the way to the tip of British Columbia, or to the Vancouver Island. So we traversed from Oregon to Canada.
How did you feel about coming to a new ship and doing the same traverse?
Extremely excited because I got to go over these sites last month, and then was telling the other scientist on the boat over there that I'll be diving on these sites in next month.
I get to see them.
It was pretty cool. The dive site from a few days ago where we had the warm fluid was directly connected to the seismic survey that we did. It was picked because of that.
Yeah, we've had a couple of really exciting sites, I guess. Yesterday's looked visually most exciting, but then the one with the warm fluid was also really interesting.
Yeah, I'd say yesterday's was the most visually exciting.
I mean, that's probably up there for, I don't know, maybe even top 10.
Wow.
I think.
Yeah, those carbonate boulders were just impressive.
And then there were the bubble curtains.
Yeah.
And also we haven't seen that big of an area yet. Yesterday we were mostly moving around the sail, so there might be even more.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it needs another dive site.
Maybe it
It
does.
might.
The other part of the ridge.
Yeah.
Shut off any of the noise-making devices on the vessel if we got too close. The thrust. I did a lot of it. We were on the back deck with the very large reels, putting instruments on the streamer they're called birds, and they have little motor wings that can have the streamer dive. They'll adjust their pitch and have the streamer go to a certain depth. You have to put those on every few 100 meters. So you have a long string of birds that all angle at the same pitch, and they kind of fly the streamer down to a particular depth that remove it from the waves and from noise at the sea surface.
What kind of depths do you tow at?
Towing at 12 meters. Running as actions. A lot of communication from the bridge to any vessels nearby.
So Jeff, when you're out on the seismic ship, are you doing kind of continuous surveys like our multi-beam surveys, or are you stopping and doing discrete kind of survey areas?
Ideally, it's continuous survey.
Okay.
They're very long lines going at about 4 to 4.2 knots.
Whoa. Okay.
So you're slowly marching over the seafloor. And you're dragging a big cable behind the boat.
How big is the array? How far out does this cables and floats go?
This was a long one.
Uh-huh.
We're towing originally we started with a 15-kilometer streamer.
What?
So 8 miles of cable behind the vessel.
Okay, a status or what?
The fastest on the ground.
Well, I think let's start with 0.5 and see how that goes.
Yeah, because if you can't, sometimes it's frustrating because you can't stop and see anything.
Okay, ready for a bridge?
Yeah, call it in. Brenda, you want to check the gauges before we get moving here?
Sure.
Bridge nav. 1000 meters, 1 kilometer at 122, please. Yes, and can that be at 0.5 knots, please? Okay.
So what are we going to be going over?
We're going to be going over the highest spots of the survey area, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, like about an 8-meter climb to the apex.
Okay, so it's all pretty negligible in terms
Yeah,
of the slope.
You won't.
Nothing. You won't notice it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there'll probably be more rocky outcrop spots though.
What's everyone want to see on the kilometer hike?
Yeah.
What do we want to see?
Yeah, what do you want to see?
Bubbles.
That's what we're hiked to the bubbles,
Yeah.
the bubble viewpoint.
We've got an octopus and a shark.
I know,
Bubble
octopus
vista.
and a shark is pretty like awesome so far. I want that shark to come back.
Yeah.
Come back, blue shark.
Sorry, Jeff, what's our bearing?
Nope. The 120.
Roger. 20.
It's like the vessel is starting to move.
Yep.
Nice hole.
It's good. Oh, I don't know.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it looked pretty promising, didn't it?
It really did.
Not working. All right. That's it. That's hard. That's just hard sediment under there.
Yeah.
You want this?
How much is it? Let's see. Ooh.
Hey. Sure, bubbles.
Keep it or lose it? Might not.
Yeah, if you're
Discussing.
able to get it in the box, or in the quiver, let's take it.
See how that goes.
If it doesn't work out, then it wasn't meant to be.
That's right.
Sampo salvo.
Yes, please. Just feel like a dentist with all these like arm demands.
Section.
I was thinking that the other day.
A little bit of it coming out, but the top part is reasonably intact. I don't know. It's kind of falling apart here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, nothing
All
here.
right. I would just shake it out.
Yeah.
You did. All good.
Do you want to try another one, or are you just going to
I think
give up
if
on it?
there's that hard layer, it's going
Yeah.
to be under throughout. So let's move to the waypoint 23.
Okay. See that?
Yep,
Yeah.
drop.
Well, the bung came up with it,
Yeah, can't use them.
so there was no bolt in that. I don't know what went on there. You guys put this back and that's not going
Yeah, I
to be
think
reliable,
so.
or that's
Do you
not going to
think
work.
it's going to stay in the quiver, or do you want to throw it in a box?
Yeah, I can put it in a box. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, might as well do it now.
So the stopper in the bottom was not
well, there
bolted
was,
in.
yeah, clearly no bolt in it. So we stick it in the starboard box in one of the big bins?
I think so, because we could always put another sample on it if
Yes.
but I'd rather not lose a core.
Yeah, okay, Rendy, box out.
Box out.
Hope we don't find any more like that.
I know. We finally have sediment. Do you think that the preference is still to get one background, or should we not take a background?
Yeah, that's a very good question
there?
now. I think we should not take the background.
Okay, so we'll just do the two
Yeah,
in the
we
map.
did it. Yeah, then hope that we actually see more sediment later on. And if not, we might find the time to still take a background sediment closer to the other sides, just maybe 200 meters out or
Okay,
something
close
like
that,
that.
please. Yeah, regular dive salvo, Rendy, please. In the white or the with the orange bit, or where would you like it?
Probably the white area because it's the thickest.
Roger. Square